Hello. I wanted to discuss a little something about some memories of McDonald's. Uh, McDonald's of the past. The ones I grew up with were vastly different than the ones that are now. I put a picture up on the screen. This was I think it was a menu from 1972 um, of a McDonald's menu. You can see the pricing up there, how much it was. The differences in McDonald's back then was one, at that time there was no drive through. So if you wanted to go to McDonald's, you basically had to pull up and go in and order. Everything was done, as you can see by the menu up there, a la carte. That means that they just basically, if you want to, you say cheeseburger, fries, a Coke, and that's what they would get you. There was no number fives, number twos, or anything like that. No large, large it, go large, or anything like that. They had, a few different types of uh, sizes, large, medium, small. They were the portions were different than it is now. A large soda back then, I believe, would be like a medium now. And another thing that was different that they had back then, it was the cash registers were all manual. They weren't digital. Uh, the apple pies that they had, I don't know if you had an apple pie at McDonald's, but they're now all baked. Back then, they were all fried, deep fried. They were so much better. Granted, you can say they're more unhealthy, but they were still much better. And plus, when you bit into one, they were hot, and they would just ooze out apple or cherry. Now it seems like if you do get one that's baked, it's mostly just bread, crust, and with some apple in it. Um, the food was a lot better in my opinion as far as taste. I went to McDonald's today for $6 just to get something really quick. I don't go very often because their food just is not that great. And I got it and I was like ate it. It's like kind of regretted buying it. Mainly because it's just the taste between what it was and what it is now is not the same. Um, I don't know why their food changed all these years, but it has. And you can tell the pricing is a lot different there. The pricing now is just outrageous um, for what you get. It's just not, it's not immaculate food for what they're charging. McDonald's were always made for fast and cheap. In fact, one of their slogans was you could get a hamburger, fries, and a soda and change back from $2. And now that's not the case any longer. Everything is super high, and it's just not good. So you're paying enormous prices for food that's not of very great quality. Um, Sometimes you might get it just because like I did it because didn't feel like fixing anything. It's been a long day. I just thought I'll just run and grab something real quick, and every time I do, I just wind up regretting it. And it's like, why? Granted, I got a deal of $6, um, but it comes down to you like it just didn't eat much of it. Most of it went into the bag and thrown out because it just wasn't very good. And a lot of times when you get their fries now, they used to be when you're back in the old days that I remember, they used to always be hot and fresh when you would get them. Now, there a lot of times it's like they've been sitting in a warmer for an hour or 2 hours. They're soggy a lot of times. They're cold. Um, the burgers are just don't really have a taste to them that I can tell. I might be wrong. Maybe it's just that my taste is changing as I grow older. But um, it just doesn't seem like they have that much of a great taste anymore. Um, it was like I said, it was a different time back then. McDonald's controlled a lot of the TV commercials on Saturday mornings, which was the time when kids like me would watch cartoons. They would advertise all the time. So as a kid, you'd want to go to McDonald's because of the advertisements. They had McDonald Land, which they had characters. You know, they have Ronald McDonald. They also had other characters like Mayor McCheese and other types of different characters. It They wound up getting it from a company called Sid and Monty Croft. Sid and Monty Croft used to make a lot of live action TV shows for kids back in the 70s. So the ad agency that uh, did McDonald's hired them to uh, make characters for them, and they did. They came on, they made the characters. Halfway in between, when they were creating them, the ad agency said, "Oh no, we decided to go to a different route. We're not going to use them." So it wound up having that they stopped it. So what they did was they already had most of it done, so they just took it, used it, and didn't pay Sid Marty Croft, which Sid Marty Croft wound up suing them. It took many years, but Sid Marty Croft won the lawsuit against McDonald's for taking their characters without their permission. And eventually, they got rid of the characters because they were trying to get away from kids. You know, because there was a big accusation that McDonald's was, you know, kids obesity, that they were, targeting kids, which they did. Um, and so a lot of it started to disappear in the 90s and the 2000s. So you hardly see anything that much anymore from McDonald's as far as kids advertisements. Ronald McDonald is pretty much gone now. Um, they got rid of him as well. But anyway, that was some of my memories of that time period and McDonald's. Um, like I said, it was a totally different type of restaurant back then. And I thought I just wanted to share it with you and share that picture. You might, if you hadn't seen it before, just some of the prices that used to be back in the day. But anyway, thank you for watching and have a great holiday weekend. And until I talk to you again, thanks for subscribing and thanks for listening to my videos. Goodbye.